What is going on, everybody? Zach Sholey Sports coming at you again. Trade deadline, big success. Appreciate everybody watching the video. But today I want to get into the Jimmy Garoppolo contract from John Lynch, and I want to talk about why every single general manager in the NFL is going to learn to hate John Lynch and hate the Jimmy Garoppolo deal. So let's just dive right into it. Any team that has a quarterback coming up on an expiring contract or a quarterback that they're looking to lock up for a long time. Case in point, let's say Minnesota with any one of their three quarterbacks that they have: Sam Bradford, Teddy Bridgewater, Case Keenum, of course, who took them to the NFC Championship. They all hate John Lynch and the contract that Jimmy Garoppolo signed. Who else will hate John Lynch and Jimmy Garoppolo? A guy like Sean Payton, head coach of the Saints, and Drew Brees. Drew Brees is sitting there loving life right now because if Jimmy Garoppolo is getting $27 million per year, what is a guy like Drew Brees going to get, who has won playoff games, who has won a Super Bowl and almost got back there this year? A team like the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers, who again has won big games, been in the playoffs, won games, won Super Bowl 45. What kind of money are they going to demand? And are they going to handicap some franchises by going too much into the salary cap? If you actually look and take a deeper dive into the salary hit that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be taking, or the San Francisco 49ers are going to be taking in the opening year, it's like a $37 million cap hit. He's supposed to get $90 million over the first 3 years of that contract. It's a 5 years, $137 million contract, which is just absolutely absurd when you actually break down the numbers. It's closer to $28 million, I think, than $27 million. Just absolutely crazy. So what is a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers going to demand, and for how long? And can the new general manager of the Green Bay Packers, Brian Gutekunst, can he get him 3, 4, 4-year deal, like 4-year deal, $120 million with probably somewhere in the ballpark of, $80 to $100 million guaranteed? Is that too far-fetched to ask for a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers? Drew Brees. Obviously, Drew Brees is a little bit older of a quarterback, but he's still going to demand probably more money than a Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo has 7 career starts compared to Drew Brees' 100-and-something career starts between the Chargers and the Saints, and he's won a Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo's never even played in a playoff game. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo put up some decent numbers in his stint so far with San Francisco. He had a quarterback rating of like 96.6. He threw, I think, 7 touchdown passes in 5 games and threw for about 1,500 yards. I mean, these aren't numbers that are like fantastic, but they're hoping that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to continue to climb the ladder and he's going to hit the mountaintop eventually. But then again, what does this do for the quarterback situation in Minnesota? You have 3 quarterbacks that could technically be starting quarterbacks on any given team: Teddy Bridgewater, Case Keenum, and now I said Sam Bradford, Teddy Bridgewater, and Case Keenum. What are those quarterbacks going to be looking at? They're all free agents this year. Case Keenum took them to the NFC Championship game where they absolutely fell on their face, but that's besides the point. He still got them there. He still played like he could have played in the Pro Bowl. And does this deal for Jimmy Garoppolo, could this handicap a team like Minnesota where they have to overpay for one of these quarterbacks, especially because Case Keenum before this year was mostly a backup who played on bad teams? He played for Houston, he played for St. Louis, and now for Minnesota, where he finally got a foothold. And now people are going to be asking themselves, are they going to, because of this deal, are they going to have to pay him 18, 20, 22, $24 million just because he had one good year? And that's mostly due to the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo just got basically $28 million per year because he went 5-0 for the team that he got traded to. It's kind of ludicrous to think about that you're giving somebody $28 million. But here is why the San Francisco 49ers are able to do that? Is because they have pretty much zero money on the books right now. So a $37 million cap hit doesn't do much. They're kind of reinventing the wheel, if you speak. A lot of teams, what they try to do is they try to build the core before they get the quarterback. They try to get a good defense. They try to get a good offense, and then they bring the quarterback in. The 49ers are reinventing the wheel in the fact that they have the guy that they think is going to be the franchise quarterback and San Francisco for a while. They have Jimmy Garoppolo, who has shown promise in every single game that he has played in. I'm pretty sure he's 7-0 career as a starter. Those numbers aren't completely a fluke, even with a coach where he won 2 games with Bill Belichick. He still did it with a rookie head coach over there in the 49ers and Shanahan. So it's kind of crazy to think about that a quarterback like that can just rack up $28 million. But John Lynch might be reinventing the wheel, taking a different approach to get his team back into action. And if this ends up working and he can re-engineer this team, even with the big cap hit, that this team could actually be a threat sooner rather than later. What kind of pieces can you put around a quarterback like Jimmy Garoppolo? Obviously, you could see what he could do with a very limited receiving core. His best receiver was Marquise Goodwin, and Marquise Goodwin isn't kind of a household name. He's not a name where you think about with an Antonio Brown or a Dez Bryant or a Julio Jones. So he still managed to make it happen. I mean, he beat one of the top defenses in the league in Jacksonville, who was in the AFC Championship game against New England. So nothing that Jimmy Garoppolo has done has been easy, but he has done it very well. So again, if you are a team that is like a Minnesota, is a Green Bay, is a New Orleans, how do you think your GMs are going to approach this when a team gets, or when a quarterback gets $28 million after 7 career starts and he's never played in a playoff game, compared to a Case Keenum who was in the NFC Championship game, to a Drew Brees who was in the Super Bowl, to an Aaron Rodgers who won a Super Bowl, and not discounting that Drew Brees, he won a Super Bowl. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Obviously, I want to get into more NFL contracts as they come up. So if that is your cup of tea, because with the free agency and draft coming up, subscribe below, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, check out my Facebook page, Sholey Sports, where I go in depth into it a lot faster than I can make a video. So let's get after it. NFL free agency is going to be a fun time. MLB free agency hopefully is starting to heat up. So if you want to hear more about MLB, subscribe below. If you want to hear more about NBA as we get closer to the playoffs, subscribe below. We're going to be discussing it all. So I look forward to hearing some feedback from you guys. Until later, bye.